This is our moment.
I'm your host, Cory Phillips.
Time to be great than today.
Off Top Podcast.
It's a play. Bryant for the lead. Yes!
Time. Welcome. We've been recording this whole time, so I mean, welcome to the soon-to-be world famous Off Top Podcast. I am your host, Cory Phillips. Welcome in. We got the whole crew in the back tonight. Yep. Lance on the ones and twos. Carson on the cam. We got special guest Zach sitting in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the background.
What's up?
Welcome to the Off Top Podcast. It's the Off Top Podcast. What episode is this?
Shit. 30?
35?
35?
36. Oh, boy.
Let me
Is it
fact
35?
check that. I'm going to fact
Lance
check
says
that.
it's 35.
35?
I feel like it's 35. This feels
It's
like
35. I'm going to roll with 35. I'm going to put my money on 35. Streaming on all platforms. Please like, subscribe, share the page. YouTube, Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Please, thank you for the support. You guys are much appreciated. We'll love you forever. Thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 35, right?
Episode 35.
Episode 35.
Confirmed.
Got a lot to get into tonight. We will be continuing our NFL preview. This week, it's the Buffalo Bills after we have basically gone through almost the whole AFC division. Bills. Or the NFC West. Because we already did the Seahawks, we already did the Rams, did San Francisco last week. We've done Kansas City, Cincinnati. We've done Dallas.
We still got a few teams left. We got a whole bunch of time.
Yeah, we got time, but training camps for starting next week.
Yeah.
So NFL season is fast approaching. Seahawks start training camp on Tuesday. Got a lot of big questions on this team, but
might have to do a clump episode or two.
Yeah, probably.
We only got 6
Did we talk about Baker Mayfield last week? Do you guys remember?
Really?
A little bit.
I mean, I did bring it up that he got traded to the Carolina. I mean, it was expected, so it was surprising. Wasn't that surprising?
Who's going to be the starter week 1 at Carolina? Sam Darnold or Baker?
It'll probably be Baker Mayfield.
Do you think he's got any competition?
No, absolutely not.
It's funny, they're from the same draft, right?
It's clear who the better quarterback is
Right.
between those two.
Right, that's true.
I mean, Sam Darnold is on his second team, is about to get cut. I mean,
Turnover machine, man.
yeah, but we'll get into them when we get to the Carolina Panthers. And we'll be getting to them in the coming days. But this week we're going to do the Buffalo Bills, who, if you guys don't remember, they lost that overtime game to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC divisional round last year. So they do have a significantly upgraded schedule, but they have an upgraded roster. So we'll get into them. The Seattle Mariners. We're in the All-Star break, so not a lot of sports stuff going on, but there's still some stories. But it is All-Star break for Major League Baseball. And as most people know around town, seeing that we're in Seattle, the Mariners are the hottest team in baseball right now. They've won 14 games in a row. They currently hold the number 2 wild card spot. If you don't know, the playoff format has been adjusted, so they added another team. So it'll be 6 teams from each league. A little different from last year, where if it was in this format last year, the Mariners probably made the playoffs last year. But that's yet to be seen. I'm just going based on numbers and the way it's formatted. But right now they hold the number 2 wild card spot. They've won 14 games in a row. They were going in as the hottest team in baseball by far right now. Well, not by far. I mean, Baltimore Orioles are a close second. They were riding a 11-game winning streak as well. So But the big question is, coming out of the All-Star break, as the Mariner baseball picks back up starting on Friday, they have a huge homestand coming out of the break. They got 3 against their division rivals, the Houston Astros, who they're chasing in the AL West. 3 against the Texas Rangers, and then they're back on the road the next week against the Houston Astros. And then, so we're going to see a lot in this next week or so on if the Mariners are for real or not. The other thing that's going on, which I brought up to some friends of mine, was the Juan Soto situation. Now, if you haven't heard, Juan Soto got offered a contract extension. Now, before we get into that, I mean, he got offered a contract extension from the Nationals. He turned it down.
How much money was he offered?
It was a lot, but
Like, a lot.
$29 million per.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but Aaron Judge is gonna make.
That's the Yankees.
It's the player. It's Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is gonna win the MVP this year.
That's true.
He got $29 million in arbitration money. So he's a free agent. The Yankees are going to re-sign him, and he's going to be the highest paid player in history.
Is he not worth all the money?
He is. Juan Soto is worth more than that now.
You think Juan Soto is worth more money than Aaron Judge?
No, I'm not saying that,
okay.
but he's worth more than 29. Aaron Judge.
What's a fair number?
Aaron Judge is going to get at least 35 to 36 million per.
So you think Soto's 33, 32?
He's like, I would say, yeah, around 32, 33. Aaron Judge can get up to 40 million per year if they just wanted to shut. There's no salary cap in baseball, so they can shell as much money
The
as they
Yankees
want.
are like one of the only teams that can afford that kind of shit.
Correct.
Because it's the fucking Yankees.
They can afford the luxury tax that will get taxed on them, but they don't give a shit about that. They're trying to build a roster, and Aaron Judge is young. He's already hit 30 home runs before the All-Star break. So, but Juan Soto, I think now. Here's the thing: the Nationals still have him under control for the rest of this year and next year, so they don't have to trade him. But a team that could use another power bat in their lineup, and remember, this man just won the home run derby last night.
Very true.
He is really good, and he's only 23 years old.
Yeah.
Could the Mariners use some pop in their lineup with him on there? Absolutely. Do I think that's going to push them over the hump to make the playoffs? Yes. Even if it's for a 1-year rental, I will still take it. Then he can make some moves, because am I willing to give up Mitch Haniger for him? Yeah. I would. I'm not giving up Julio. That's for damn sure. I'm not giving him up at all.
Ty France?
No. Ty France is part of your nucleus.
He should have been. Is he the biggest all-star snub of the
Well,
weekend?
well, not really, because he made it. He was a replacement.
I know, but
So technically, he's part of the All-Star team.
you're right.
He should he got voted in
Should he
initially?
have been voted in initially? is what
That's tough, because there are a lot of good first basemen in the American League this year.
That's true.
I think he should have been up there when the first reserves got announced. How the hell did he get that JD Martinez get passed over him? I don't understand. But once Mike Trout went out, they needed a replacement. Ty France was going to be on it. I had a feeling he was going to get in as a reserve. I was surprised that Julio got in, but I mean, he's been nothing short of impressive for a rookie. You know what I'm saying? At 21 years old, he is really impressive. So,
Killer.
speaking of that, the All-Star game was tonight and just went final about a half an hour ago, 45 minutes. The American League wins again, 3-2. There was not really a lot of excitement in this game, except for the back-to-back home runs by Giancarlo Stanton and Byron Buxton in the fourth inning. The National League took an early 2-0 lead. My boy Paul Goldschmidt with the home run. So literally the rest of the game, it was just commentary, listen to players talk. But the only action was in the first inning and in the fourth. And that was the rest of the game. Obviously Giancarlo Stanton won the MVP for the 2-run homer. I mean, that was a moonshot that he hit. But it was good to see all the stars. It was good to see Ty France in there for a couple of ABs. Julio was out there. They had him mic'd up. And I mean, but the biggest story of the weekend or the All-Star break, is going to be the home run derby. It was fantastic yesterday watching that thing. Julio hit a total of 81 home runs between the first round and the final round. He was matched up with against Corey Seager in the first round, and he hit 31 home runs. He advanced to the second round where against Albert Pujols, my guy. Big shout out to Albert Pujols. His final year was in the home run derby. Is an all-star. He's on a winning team. Big shout out to St. Louis Cardinals. I would hope my dream matchup for the World Series has always been St. Louis versus Seattle.
You buying tickets to that game?
I would pay all the money for that game.
All the money.
Just like the All-Star game next year in Seattle.
You a game 1 or a game 3 guy?
I'm an every game guy until it's over. I would pay all the money to go see it.
That's all the money.
Yeah. All-Star break next year is in Seattle. And I'm telling you right now, I will be going to the home run derby and the All-Star game. Period. End of discussion.
Can we try to make that a BBE event?
I am going. We can try. It's going to be a hard ticket. I'm not going to lie.
How much per person?
In the hundreds of dollars.
Okay.
The home run derby is a big event. That's baseball's granddaddy.
How many people would we need to pull together to get a box?
That would be thousands of dollars.
How many people?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
I have to. They're not on sale yet, but I am definitely doing some research. All-Star game itself, I'm pretty confident that I can get multiple tickets to that.
Oh.
I don't know how many, but
you
at least 2 or 3. So I'm pretty confident because season ticket holders are going to have first dibs.
Well, obviously.
But they're gonna, and I don't know if they're gonna add extra seats into T-Mobile Park or not.
I assume so. They can.
Yeah.
It's capable of it. They can expand it an extra.
But if it's anything like this home run derby that we just watched yesterday, I'm all in. Juan Soto. It came down to Juan Soto and J-Rod, Julio. And I thought Julio had him because he had 18 home runs in that final round. But then Juan Soto, I mean, he's so good. And those guys embracing and hugging each other at the end, and they were saying something. And I'm like, is that a sign of things to come? Can I see Julio? Can I see Juan Soto in a Mariners uniform? Even if it's just for this season, just to get us to the playoffs. I would. You don't know how happy I would be. I swear. But the home run derby was fantastic. Albert Pujols made it to the second round. Juan Soto was great. He took out Pete Alonso from the New York Mets, and then Pete Alonso was the defending 2-time champ. And came down to Julio and Juan Soto, and they had. I mean, Julio had 18, but I think he ran out of gas towards the end. And Juan Soto is just a machine, man. He hits everything that's in front of him. So,
well, Juan Soto in so many ways is like the older Julio.
Oh man, he is fantastic. So I can only imagine him in that lineup, even as a DH or playing outfield. He's phenomenal. So Juan Soto wins by a home run, and he wins the batting title. But I mean, that was an amazing performance. I found a story on Julio. And I guess that weekend before, like the last few games before the All-Star break, because Sunday was the last day of games, Julio was out early before they came out for regular batting practice, and they were clocking him as if he was in a home run derby, and he was launching him. So he was practicing for this event like days before. But 81 home runs, that is phenomenal. So big shout out to Julio. Big shout out to Giancarlo Stanton. So my takeaways before we get into the second half of the season, somebody asked me who was my surprises, or who are my big surprises, who are my disappointments, team-wise. And he's like, each league. And I was like, okay, well, I can start with the American League. My biggest surprise right now is the Baltimore Orioles. The fact that they're sitting, like, this team only won like 59 games last year. You got to remember that. They've won. They're straight at 500 right now, 46-46. They're not out of it as far as a wild card spot goes. They're not out of it at all. They're only 3.5 games out. They have the best bullpen in the league, and their bats are starting to come together. And they're beating teams that they have no. I mean, they beat the Yankees in the best 2 out of 3 series just like a week ago, and they just came off an 11-game winning streak. So I think Baltimore is my biggest surprise because they're still in this mix right now. Again, they only won 59 games last year. It's a 162-game schedule. So, I mean, they've been one of the worst teams in baseball the last few seasons. And they're young. They have their bullpen's strong, and they have a lot of pieces in that lineup that they can mix and match, and they can bring off the bench that play multiple positions. So, Baltimore is my biggest surprise in the American League. My biggest disappointment. Before I go into that, the National League, my biggest surprise right now. It's so tough. I don't know if I could just pick one team, but I mean, like, some of the teams, like, Milwaukee's going to be there. The Mets are... Okay, I guess I would have to say the Mets for me. Because, to be honest with you, I don't remember... I mean, I was kind of clowning that team a little bit before the season started. And apparently there's video evidence of me saying that. But I didn't think they were going to be this good. The Mets are good.
Padres.
There was no surprise with that. There was none. No, everybody thought the Padres were going to be good at full strength. I mean, they have a really good team. So I was saying the Padres were going to be in the mix as far as a wild card spot, but I didn't think the Mets would be in first place this whole time. I mean, they've literally been in first place for most of the first half of the season. They're pretty good. So, if I were to have to say the New York Mets, I mean, you can give a slight edge to Atlanta. The Atlanta are the defending champs, but they lost some big pieces in the offseason, and yet still they're about 20 games over 500. So, I mean, Atlanta's still going to be there. The core team is still there, and they're playing well. So, I would say my biggest disappointments, though, in the American League, I would have to say the Los Angeles Angels. The Angels were riding high the first month and a half, 2 months of the season. They were like 15 games over 500. They were killing everybody. A couple of injuries happened, and then they lose 13, 14 straight games. And now, I mean, they completely collapsed. And then injuries have played a role. Rendon's out. Mike Trout's been out of the lineup. And now the Angels are 39-53.
20 and a half games behind.
Mm-hmm. The Mariners, they came here for a 4-game set like 2 weeks ago. I went into one of those games in that series. We beat the living piss out of the Angels. All 4 games. Wasn't even close. Part of this 14-game winning streak that they're on right now. That was the Oakland A's series was the launch pad to the series because they won 3 games to Oakland, and then they just blown out everybody else since. So the Angels have been the biggest disappointment in the American League for me. In the National League, and this is going to sound weird because I'm talking about a team who is technically over 500, but it's the San Francisco Giants. Very disappointing. This is a team that won 107 games last year, and they're sitting at 48. They should be in first place right now. Their starting pitching has been bad, blowing leads. The bullpen's been blowing leads. They should be better than what they are right now. They're at 48 and 43. Yeah, they're 5 games over 500, but they're still, like, if the playoffs were start right now, the Giants wouldn't even make the playoffs. Again, this is a team that won 107 games last year. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please continue to subscribe, share the page, stuff like that. What do you guys think? Am I right on my assessment? I mean, it's my assessment, but everybody is right to their opinion. But it's, for me, based on what I've been following this whole season, those are my 4 teams' biggest surprises. So, again, the Baltimore Orioles and the New York Mets are my biggest surprises. My biggest disappointments, the Los Angeles Angels and the San Francisco Giants. So we'll see in the second half of the season. You're gonna see a lot, and you're gonna tell a lot coming off this All-Star weekend. We're not gonna have baseball for 2 days, but come Friday, it's go time for the Mariners. The Mariners game is sold out for Friday. Sold out.
First time and
No, they were sold out for one of the Toronto games.
okay.
But
I just can't remember the last time they were like this consistently packed.
Yeah,
Like not since like
that last
not
homestand.
since I was like a little kid.
That last homestand, it was like this last year too.
Like
But
at the end of the year.
at the end of the year,
Yeah.
it was like that every game.
Well, they're so close.
Yeah, this
They
year,
fell,
I
like,
mean,
half a game out.
now we knew the Blue Jays fans come out when the Blue Jays are in town. It's every year, but
Canadians, man, they travel.
it's every year.
from Vancouver.
But they announced that the game was sold out like 2 days ago, right before the home run derby. The Mariners game was sold out for this Friday. So, and they're saying it's close to being sold out for Saturday too. I'm gonna try to get tickets for go to Saturday's game. But anyway, Mariners coming out of All-Star break Friday. They got a weekend set against the Houston Astros. Can't wait for that. Before we get into the preview, though, my question for everybody who's tuning in, is it too early to start working on fantasy football?
No.
I didn't think it was.
No.
So, I was thinking doing like a, I don't know what you guys think about this, but an off-top kind of fantasy football.
Oh yes.
We do fantasy football for the off-top
Oh,
podcast. I was thinking about this, and I'm like, okay, so I'm in like 4 leagues right now.
do we include the viewers?
Well, we can only do 12 max.
Well, how about this? First person that comments on this video,
Yeah, sure. We have to set it. I mean, we can set it up, and
we're still a ways out. We can.
I mean,
it's all
but are
archived.
we?
We can log it.
I mean, we can get it started, get set it up. I mean,
It's all archived.
we need to wait. I mean, we need to wait to see where some teams land because minicamp players
We're
get
not
cut.
drafting anytime soon.
No,
We drafted too early last year.
no, we
Way
didn't.
too early.
Oh.
I think we needed to go one more week.
Yeah.
You need to go
'Cause there was
after
still
the
a couple
because you
trades.
need to go after the third preseason game because that's where you know where all the injuries are at. Going to week
Okay,
one.
so the third preseason game, literally 4 days later, the season starts.
Well, then do it the day of the third preseason games. 'Cause
That's
if
fine.
There's any questionable injuries, then no one's gonna play anyway.
Well, it's something we can
Especially
work
if they're
about.
good, they want to save them for week one.
I was looking at it and I was like, who would be the number one for each position?
Oh.
So you're talking quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense, kicker, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. So if I had the number one pick, and well, that's a little question. Hold on, let me rephrase. If I were to choose a quarterback, number one, who would that quarterback be?
Little round robin here.
Yeah, you guys can do a round robin. Go ahead.
No, you
Carson?
go first. You go.
No.
Oh, okay.
Carson?
I mean, either Patty Mahomes.
No. There's no either. It's one quarterback.
He's like, fuck no, you ain't choosing two.
You don't get that luxury because you don't get to choose two quarterbacks with your first pick, do you?
I'm
No.
going Josh Allen.
Josh Allen,
Yeah.
Zach.
See, I like the Josh Allen pick. I can't even lie. especially because of the way he runs, man. It makes him a fantasy powerhouse in so many
I
ways.
knew you were going to say that. Josh Allen.
I was the benefactor of Josh Allen last year, of course, and last time I checked, am the defending champ.
Russell Wilson, you're way off base.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, say it for the mic, man. We have that on tape.
Fucking Russell Wilson, Jesus.
So 1 for Russell Wilson, 2 for Josh Allen.
I didn't commit to Josh Allen.
Oh.
Well,
It seemed like
I would still
what
say.
are you talking about?
I'm just saying in terms of points, I'd still go Patty Mahomes.
Patty Mahomes. So Zach saying Patrick Mahomes. What? Excuse me. Yeah, that's how I felt about Lance's pick. Lance is going with Russell Wilson, and Carson, I'm surprised you said Josh Allen. I thought Dak Prescott was going to come and make sure.
Are you kidding me? He's terrible for fantasy.
He's a good backup quarterback to have.
Yeah,
for
he's a good
fantasy.
number 2, but I'm not picking him.
No, I don't want to rely on Dak.
Now remember, you got to remember this. When I asked that question, this is based on their current roster constructed right now.
Absolutely.
I'm in the mindset right now. I mean, and I've been tossing and turning about this. I thought of Josh Allen. Reasonable weapons, really good weapons, and he can run with the ball. I thought Aaron Rodgers, but he lost all his weapons.
All of them.
But
That's
it's Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean?
That's true. I mean,
he's
going to make 3 guys into Pro Bowlers this next year.
Like, no names in the Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, we have no idea who these guys are.
I mean, Tom Brady comes to mind because he's back. And you keep saying that he's old, but yet he threw for almost 5,000 yards last year.
Passing last season, yeah.
Right. I mean,
and his
Cooper Kupp. I mean, Matthew Stafford come to mind because he just added another weapon to Allen Robinson, and they're probably going to get OBJ back on top of Cooper Kupp, who had
my only hesitation
MVP
on
season.
Stafford is they lost Whitworth, so replacing left tackle.
They're gonna replace him, but
that's still. I mean, that's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Right. You don't replace a Hall of Famer just like that. Unless you get lucky and,
Then then I came down, there's 2 quarterbacks I was choosing between. One of which none of you guys said, which was Patrick Mahomes, the guy I had last year in fantasy in 3 of my leagues. And I was like, but wait a minute, he lost Tyreek Hill. Still has Travis Kelce. Nico Harmon's still there. They added Juju Smith-Schuster, who's one of the fastest wide receivers in the league. And Valdez-Scantling they got off a cheap deal from Green Bay. So, if anything, you might have slightly upticked your offense slightly a better. Even though Tyreek Hill's Tyreek Hill.
I'd just say it's a different dynamic.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean...
It's a different type of wide receiver?
Well, I mean, yeah, because I get it. Juju's fast, and so is McCole Hardman. They're not slow receivers, right?
But Juju's bigger.
Right, but Tyreek Hill is burner speed. Stretch the field out, beat you by 15 yards.
Juju Smith-Schuster's burner speed.
He's a take a slant 80 yards. Okay? He's like Jerry Rice, bro. He's got the deceptive speed.
Then there was one name that popped up, and I was just like, bro, this might be the one. And you guys are gonna think I'm crazy for this.
I think I know who you're gonna say.
Who do you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were going to say Justin Herbert. Yeah?
That's what I was gonna guess.
Justin Herbert. I'm telling you right now, that defense got better. And I've been sold on it since the move. They got Khalil Mack on that squad. And I'm like, bro. The offense was already good. Now, this is barring injury or anything like that. You know what I mean? But I was like, Khalil Mack is a game changer. Okay? And then you look at it from their other move on defense that they make in getting J.C. Jackson, who is clearly the best cornerback that was available. The best cornerback from last season. Adding on to a team that already had a pretty solid defense, adding another guy opposite Bosa and Khalil Mack, and then solidifying your secondary by adding J.C. Jackson. In an offense that has Justin Herbert, you have Austin Eckler, who's a beast, by the way. Austin Eckler is really good.
I know we got into it about him a couple episodes ago.
Did we?
Yeah, we were having the debate between him and Javonte Williams.
Well, I mean, and then look at the wide receivers. You got Keenan Allen, who's legitimately, like, consistently good every year.
Solid.
Gerald Everett, they picked up from the offseason at tight end.
You're a former guy.
Yeah, he didn't get a fair shake here in Seattle. No, by not any means.
Oh, God, no. He was way better in L.A.
Gerald Everett was good in L.A. No room for them because he's
he
splitting
just
time with
went
Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee is really good, too. So they chose the lesser of the two evils,
Well, they just
so to
couldn't
speak,
pay-
and they
just
got...
couldn't
And
justify
Tyler Higbee's good.
Yeah.
He's legit. He's a solid tight end. You have Mike Williams. And Mike Williams is only...
He just got paid.
He got paid, and Mike Williams is 6'6", and he's catching passes over the top.
Sure, he's 6'6".
I'm pretty sure Mike Williams... He's 6'5". Sorry.
Okay, I was about to say, bro. That's
6'5", 215 pounds out of Clemson.
big boy.
Big boy.
Yeah, he was Deshaun Watson's number one.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm in the mindset... I'm not saying I would pick him 1-1. I was just like, Justin Herbert is really appealing. But if I think at the end of the day, I probably would still go Pat Mahomes. Because I know I can trust him. He threw a lot of interceptions last year, but he corrected that mistake down the stretch. And that's what got me to the finals in one of my leagues, okay? I'm not going to say I won it. I mean, I came second place. But anyway, he
Came in second place.
Yeah, okay.
To me.
Well, I won the other 3 leagues I was in, so I'll take an L on that. But if I were to choose one, Justin Herbert is a clear, close number second to me. Now, Josh Allen, yeah, that's a hard choice. So I'm going with that. Why running backs?
I mean, the only reason
I would go around the table running back.
running backs right now.
Yes.
Shit. Fully healthy.
Yes. Do not say Zeke, please.
DH2K, Mr. King Derrick Henry himself.
Derrick Henry. That's a good one. Carson. Do not say Ezekiel Elliott.
I'm not liking that.
Do not say Ezekiel Elliott.
I don't even want Zeke as my number 1 running back on my team.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right, though, with Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
I
Lance.
think you have to.
Derrick Henry.
All 3 for Derrick Henry.
I think that this year he's going to be going off.
Are you guys missing one person?
Hey man, I don't get me wrong. It's not like it's an easy choice on it being Derrick Henry because you got a bunch of good backs right now. You got Nick Chubb, you've got Dalvin Cook, you've got Christian McCaffrey coming back healthy, you've got Austin Eckler down in L.A. Right? I mean, like you got a lot.
Man, you guys are missing.
Joe Mixon.
Man, you guys are missing
Missing
one big one.
A big one.
How about Jonathan Taylor?
Oh yeah.
Led the league in rushing.
Yeah. I know.
That's who I'm picking number 1 if a running back's available. Close second would be either Derrick Henry or Dalvin Cook.
It's funny because both of him.
Or actually, not even Dalvin Cook. Nick Chubb.
It's funny because both of those guys in college obviously come from super different systems, but they're both built similarly, even though their size was different. That makes sense. They're both built to be bell cows. Like, give them the ball 40 times a game, run the ball down your throat. That's what Jonathan Taylor did at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I mean, Alabama literally followed Derrick Henry to a national championship.
I mean, Nick Chubb's not going to be a bad pick, though, especially for
No, not at all.
They're going to be going through the first half of the year. They're just going to be.
Speaking of which, found out today, and I don't know how, but you're hearing a lot. They did an update. It looks like Deshaun Watson is only going to get a max of 8-game suspension. So that changes the dynamic of that situation.
Oh, wow.
It's not going to be a year like I thought it was going to be.
Who do they have then with Jacoby Brissett? Or is going to be the QB for the first 8 then?
Yeah.
That's not even that bad.
And it's not, I mean, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that because it's more than likely Jimmy Garoppolo's is going to get cut.
Can we preview their schedule next week?
Who, the Browns?
That 8-game suspension is a huge, crazy dynamic.
I would like to preview it when we have more. Once it's official.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it right now off
Fair.
of speculation. I want to know if it's official because then I can base it off of that. So he's going to be out for these 8 games. He's going to be back this week. Who are they going to be playing? If it's a week schedule down the stretch, and if they can maybe keep it at 500, they can make a run for a playoff push. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying?
Right.
And I mean, again, Jimmy Garoppolo more than likely is going to get cut. I have on the firm belief he's going to get cut. They're going to try to see trade offers. Obviously, San Francisco's not going to trade within the division because you're hearing a lot of rumors about him being linked to the Seahawks. Why not? If you can bring him in on the cheap, and then you have a quarterback competition between Garoppolo and
That's what to say about that.
Garoppolo and Drew Lock. You know what I mean? I don't know if Lance locked that, but I mean, I live in reality, so
I would take Jimmy G over Drew Lock any day.
yeah.
That's true. That's true. As much as I don't like Jimmy G, at least Jimmy G's got playoff wins under his belt.
Yeah, that's true.
And when Jimmy G's healthy, he's not that bad. Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, he's not good, he's not great, he's just not that bad.
Yeah. Wide receiver.
Oh, wideout?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit, man.
If you had
That's probably
all the wide
hardest
receivers are on the
question to
board,
answer.
and you have a choice of a wide receiver to take first, who would it be? I already know what Carson's going. He's going CD Lamb.
Who?
Not even close.
I mean, there's too many good receivers right
I
now.
got 2 in mind.
We don't get 2. You get
I
one.
know. I
Um,
understand.
Best wide receiver in football right now is Cooper Kupp.
Would you take him? I'm talking for fantasy purposes. Are you taking him number 1?
Yes. I'm going to take Cooper Kupp for year 2 with Matt Stafford. He's going to have more chemistry. I think they're going to...
I like the choice, and his targets are going to... I mean, it might slip in targets a little bit, but he's going to be open a lot more because Allen Robinson is on the other end.
I think his yards per catch is going to go up big this season. I think he's not going to have as many, 11 catch games where he's getting 5,
Cam
10
Akers
yarders.
and
That
Darrell
just opens
Henderson
up
will
the
be
field.
healthy again.
And you've got a big guy opposite him that
Yeah.
can go be the jump ball guy. So now
Cooper Kupp yards per game are going to go up.
Yeah, now he just gets to go break people's ankles running good routes all the game long.
Carson.
But I'm taking the white boy.
I want to go Cooper Kupp, but I got to go Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase is a good one, too.
Wow.
Super Bowl hangover?
From
He's
that
gonna
guy,
be coming
I don't
back
think
for
so.
another big year.
Yeah, man, I think the Bengals are out for revenge this
Yeah,
year.
they're
I don't
out
know.
for
I don't know if they're gonna
revenge.
get back to
The
Super
offensive
Bowl.
line got better in the offseason. They made some moves for the offensive
Right,
line.
bro, and Joe Burrow don't fuck around. Like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I bet you money have been throwing routes all.
You're
off.
saying Cooper Kupp. You're saying Jamar Chase. Lance,
DK.
do not say DK.
Not taking DK. D-Hop.
DeAndre Hopkins. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
So okay, DeAndre Hopkins.
No,
This was the first real year.
He killed me last year.
Okay, time out. I like the pick. He's healthy.
He was at the start of the year last year, and then he's always questionable
Well-
week after week, and gets 2 targets per game, maybe a
Well,
touchdown.
that's more your quarterback,
Kyler
not
Murray problem.
the receiver.
That's
So
a Kyler Murray problem.
that's a Kyler Murray problem, not a DeAndre Hopkins problem.
That is true.
Now, D Hop's gonna get.
fantasy,
He's gonna get a lot of the
I'm not
attention.
taking him.
He's still the number 1 receiver on the team.
for sure.
They did lose Christian Kirk, but they add some other weapons to there. So Christian Kirk's gone in
Who'd the
Jackson.
Cardinals get?
And they re-signed AJ Green. So
Did they bring Zach Ertz back?
Zach Ertz is back.
Okay, so that's it.
Yeah. Well, let me.
So they got an old man out there that
Hold on.
long past his prime.
Hold on.
Men out there.
Hey, Hopkins is yeah, but AJ Green's from like
I love
last
D Hop.
generation.
I will never say a negative thing about D Hop.
I won't say anything about negative about D Hop either. I'm talking shit on AJ Green right now. That man, that man cannot be a number 2 receiver in the NFL anymore. He's too damn old.
I had them both on my fantasy team. You know what they did for me?
Oh,
You know what they did
God.
for me?
Yeah, Carson, how did you finish in that league, by the way?
Fifth,
So,
sixth,
Marquise Brown,
down the list.
Hollywood Brown.
Not good.
That was the other
That was in the draft day too.
former college teammates.
Yeah. So, and Rondell Moore is still on the team. DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Marquise Brown. So they got some targets. Zach Ertz is still on the roster.
How's Kyler Murray
James
doing?
Conner, he had a record amount of touchdowns last year. So
James Conner's nice. I
Yeah.
won't even lie. But
They-
can
they-
Kyler Murray distribute the ball to all these guys?
ooh, you know, and who they also added that nobody's talking about is Darrell Williams, former running back from KC, who can catch out of the backfield and make some shit happen. So change of pace running back. So I like the squad they have picked up here. So I like the pick. It's not what I'm going with though.
No.
Not even close.
I'm going Devontae Adams.
That's who I was debating between.
It's Devontae Adams.
But here,
You're going with your former college teammate in
Yeah,
Fresno State, who
and-
he had record number of yards, catches, and touchdowns with on a
this
team
is
that was
not-
missing a number 1 wide receiver.
this is not the Mountain West.
I don't give a shit.
They are not at
The
Fresno
chemistry's
State
still there. The
slinging it against
playbook,
Wyoming.
the playbook is similar. And then you have, think about it, a healthy Josh Jacobs. You have Renfro, he'll be there again still, and you'll have a healthy Darren Waller.
That's a big help.
So I think Devontae Adams is the wide receiver choice. Number 2, I was debating between Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I get the Devontae Adams thing, especially just because of the Derek Carr connection.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how far it'll carry them past the regular season,
Mm-hmm.
but I think they'll throw up stupid numbers together during the regular season. I think that's the only guy that's gonna maybe give Devontae Adams more catches than fucking Aaron Rodgers.
And I think the one wide receiver who's going to have a way better season than he did last year, that
CD Lamb.
it's not CD Lamb. Stephon Diggs had a really off year last year. Even though he did catch for 1,000 yards, it was clearly not the same season that he had the year previous.
He's playing hurt.
Yeah. And I think he's going to have a comeback season. Stephon Diggs is a legit number 1 wide receiver. Tyreek Hill, I think, will decrease because of the change of team and the change of the quarterback and style of play. So,
I think the big surprise guy of the year. Well, I guess it's not really a surprise, but I think Jamar Chase is in for a very big year too.
who?
Jamar Chase.
Well, we kind of alluded to that when he made his pick.
Right,
Yeah.
but
I just said that. What are you
I'm
gonna
second
try to take
there.
my pick? Come on.
What do you mean I'm taking your opinion? You said it first. I'm saying
taking
he.
my pick. Hey,
I'm taking
I'm
your
just
pick,
saying.
guy. I ain't taking your pick. Shut the fuck up.
And then finally, defense. We won't go into kickers, but defense. I'll start with Carson on the defense. One team defense that you would take, like a total team defense. If you were to combo, so if a league, no matter if they're just doing a straight defense or if a league, sometimes league incorporates defense and special teams combined, who are you taking?
I'm taking the Bills.
Bills defense, not a bad choice. Zach?
I'm gonna say this probably before Cory does. The Rams,
Oh,
very
son of a bitch.
obviously,
Son of a bitch.
they have the best player in football. That's not a quarterback right now.
Lance, and please do not say the Seahawks.
The Rams.
Damn.
Good.
Well, that was going to be my pick, was the Rams. So we're gonna, close second was going to be the Buffalo Bills. Because I like their moves that they made. But,
I'd
the Rams,
say another guy
I
would
mean,
make the Bucks maybe. Bucks defense got better this offseason.
Cowboys.
They replaced
Broncos.
a future Hall of Famer in what's his face, Von Miller. Von Miller goes. We knew he was going to be like a 1-year rental. They weren't going to be able to afford to keep him, and he goes to the Bills, which was expected, but they do have good young talent to replace him in that position. So maybe not as good or maybe as formidable as Von Miller because it's Von Miller, but you still have talent to replace that. Other than that, your core defense is still there. All of it, from the secondary to the interior linemen. The defense.
Well, no Eric Weddle, but
he came in
that was
right
fun.
before the playoffs.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get him his ring. You get your cigar, your Super Bowl ring. Bye-bye.
He played all right for a little
He
bit.
played all right. I mean, but they didn't really need his ass. Just like Odell. It was just like extra security.
It was a problem of wealth.
Yeah, exactly. So I will go with the Rams defense. But yeah, we should get something going on fantasy football. But now for the favorite segment of the show. It is NFL Preview Weekly here on the Off Top Podcast. We've been going through each team, going through their schedules, predicting their records going into the season. At the end of that, we will be we'll have each schedule and each win and loss record for each team, where then we can predict playoff brackets and so on and so forth. This week, we previewed already. We started with the Dallas Cowboys. We've been doing this for how many weeks now? 5-6 weeks?
Good, a few weeks now, yeah.
We started off with the Cowboys. Then we went into the Seattle Seahawks, followed by the Los Angeles Rams. You're defending world champion Los Angeles Rams. Followed by the defending AFC champion. Followed by the defending AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. We previewed them. We talked about the Kansas City Chiefs 2 weeks ago. Last week, we previewed the San Francisco 49ers. This week, we move on to the opponent of the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round playoff game from last year would be the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills their season ended tough. They won we could just do a recap. They ended 11-6. They won the AFC East. Were blowing out teams left and right, and then lost some head scratchers last year. That games I didn't think they should have lost. Then their season came to a screeching halt last year as they lost in overtime due to missteps in the defense. Oh, you know what we forgot to talk about is tight ends, but we'll get to that after this. I forgot about the tight ends. But anyway, a couple of missteps in defenses that I thought were bad calls down the stretch in the fourth quarter of that game, and in overtime cost them the game. They never saw the field in overtime. It was one coin toss and one touchdown, and they were going home. So then you hear your boy crying and bitching and moaning about we need to change the playoff procedures and all that stuff, whatever, the overtime rules, whatever. We ain't going to get into that. All we're going to do is get into their regular season schedule, which they pretty much have a first-place schedule. Let's not lie. Preseason, they play the Colts, the Broncos, and the Panthers to start the preseason. And then we have the big game, Thursday Night Football, start of the season, September 9th, on the road against your defending world champion, banner and ring day, Los Angeles Rams. They're going to get their rings. They're going to be at SoFi Stadium. Sunday Night Football, start of the season. I already said they're going to lose this game. So that was they're already an 0-1 start to start the season off.
Yeah, that's a lot of emotion. It's a hard game.
They're not going to win that game. It'll be
How many times have the defending champs lost that game over the last 10
not
years?
too many. Maybe one.
I know
or
the
two.
Ravens did.
Yeah, I would say
because Peyton dropped 7 touchdowns.
I would say one or two teams have lost that opening game after winning the championship. In particular, Tampa last year started the season against the Cowboys, and Tampa with the win. So
Barely. Not again this year.
Oh man, it's too early for these Cowboy fans to be coming out like this. We've already talked about you enough.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Just like the Cowboys got to be the center.
Yeah, they can't leave enough alone. Week 2 at home after that tough loss to the Rams at home. That is the first game of a doubleheader of Monday Night Football at home against the Tennessee Titans.
Let's go.
I think there'll be some revenge there. They need to get off the schneid after the tough loss to the Rams. I think the Rams game will be close, but I think the Bills will pull that out, so they'll be 1-1. The next week is on the road against the Miami Dolphins, this new look Miami Dolphin team. This is a tough one for me, but I'm going to go with the loss. I'm going to say the Dolphins are going to win on the road.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to go with the Dolphins with the win.
How? Explain the logic.
I think...
You really think the changes are going to turn Tua around?
I think Miami's going to surprise a lot of people.
I'm not inclined to fully disagree with you. I do think Miami will surprise a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think week 3 they're not surprising shit. I think that is still Tua trying to figure out the kinks.
I beg to differ. I think they're going to catch them off guard.
My guy, this is his third offense in 3 years.
Yeah,
He ain't going to pick it up by week 3.
Well, we're rolling with this for now. So I'm going 1-2 to start. Then they have another tough game on the road in Baltimore against the Ravens. Remember, that game, Buffalo versus Miami, is on the road in Miami. So then they have another road game against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to go with the Bills with the win on the road against Baltimore. So that puts them at 2-2. Then the following week, they're back at home.
That's a harder game than Miami.
Baltimore's in a little bit of disarray right now.
That's true, and I think because Buffalo's defense is going to be a lot better, I don't think Lamar is going to give them as much problems.
No.
They
got weaker on the at the one position they need, and that's wide receiver.
Yeah, they're going to be hurt.
You can't let Lamar do everything.
You can't throw to Mark Andrews every play.
Right. So they're going to key in on that, and who else are you going to throw to? Or you let Lamar run.
J.K. Dobbins.
So, and the Von Miller and the rest of the crew are going to key on that, and they'll snuff that out.
They're going to eat.
So, the next week, they'll be at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like the Steelers the way but they're going to be too much in a new quarterback system. Buffalo should win that, hands down. So that puts Buffalo at what? What did I got them at? 2-2.
3-2.
3-2.
3-2.
Wins against the Steelers, Ravens, and the Titans.
3-2 moving into October 16th.
October 16th on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think I gave the Chiefs the win on this one.
I believe you did.
Based on what the Chiefs preview I did. So that puts them at 3-3. Not a really hot start for the Buffalo Bills. The next week they're at home, Sunday Night Football, the day before my birthday, against the Green Bay Packers.
That's a brutal start.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Miami, those are all playoff teams.
Pittsburgh's not a playoff team.
Well, I mean from last season.
Oh, from last season, Pittsburgh is a playoff team, yeah. Yeah, that's a brutal start. At home against the Packers. Sunday Night Football.
October 30th.
I think that's a dub for the Buffalo Bills.
I think that's I don't know how often Aaron Rodgers has made the trip to Buffalo, but that's right when it starts to get.
Well, he
cold
should be right at home, but weather won't be. There won't be a lot of elements.
Though it's different, man. Wisconsin's like cold and snowy and frigid, freeze your balls off. And
yeah.
Buffalo's, you'll fly out the stadium on accident.
I'll give the Bills the win on that. So that's where we're at, 4-2 right now.
4-2.
4-2 next week against.
Wait, no, 4-3. They lost to the Chiefs.
Lost to the Chiefs, 4-3. Next week on the road at Carson's New York Jets. I'm gonna give the Bills a dub on that one.
No, I can't even argue about that.
So that's 5-3, right?
5-3.
5-3 next week at home against the Minnesota Vikings. This is an interesting game. Because, believe it or not, the Vikings are actually a good team.
Wow.
Kirk Cousins is pulling through. It's Kirk Cousins.
In Buffalo.
They're not in Buffalo. Oh, they're in Buffalo.
They
yeah,
are in
right.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell Kirk Cousins is beating Josh Allen.
I think
in
it'll be
Buffalo.
close. Let's put it that way.
I think Dalvin Cook's going to have a great game.
I think it's going to be really close, but I'll give the dub to Buffalo. And then the next week, back-to-back home games at home against the Cleveland Browns. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If Deshaun Watson is back, he will be back for this game.
Oh, would this be his first game back?
No.
So he already have a week to warm up.
I mean, Deshaun Watson, in all accounts, would be back 2 weeks before this game. So he's already had 2 warm-up games. Or at least one. But we don't know that for sure. So I'm going to go based on the fact that Jacoby Brissett will be the starting quarterback, which then Buffalo will win the game. So I will give Buffalo a dub on that. What's their record so far?
6 and
3 now.
6 and 3, yeah.
Yeah, they've won 4 straight
Yeah, 6
since
and
the
3.
Chiefs game.
6 and 3 moving into the Lions.
6 and 3 on the road. Chris, is this Thanksgiving game? Yeah, it's Thanksgiving
It's a
game
Thanksgiving Day game.
against the Detroit Lions.
Poor Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit's losing this one.
I feel bad for every Detroit Lions fan.
So, again, the schedule gets easier for them. But yes, Detroit Lions, I'm going to give Buffalo the win on that. And then, first day of Christmas, that looks like it's, is that a Monday Night Football game? December 1st? No,
No.
that's Sunday Night Football.
Sunday night.
Sunday Night Football on the road against the New England Patriots. Now, the Patriots play them tough. They play them tough every year. I will give the Patriots a win on this one, on the road. Or Patriots will be at home. I'm going to give the Patriots a win on that one. They always play each other tough, and I think that's a loss for them. So,
I disagree.
that's fine. You can disagree with that?
I think in New England, I think Belichick and Mac Jones.
Yeah, they'll find a way.
I think they'll get it done this year.
Christmas, it'll probably be snowing. It's Sunday Night
Because
Football.
you know Bill Belichick sat there this whole offseason just mad that he lost to Buffalo.
Yeah, he knows Buffalo's a threat.
Yeah, this ain't J.P. Lossman's Buffalo.
All right, next week they are at home against Carson's New York Jets, matchup number 2. That will be a win for Buffalo.
Whoa! You don't think they're splitting, man?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
Absolutely
The Jets
not.
are terrible. So I'm gonna give Buffalo the win on that
You're
one.
talking about surprising teams this year. Hold on. You're talking about surprising teams this year. You're saying Miami's gonna surprise?
Well, that leads me to the next week, which is December 18th, at home against the Dolphins. I'm going with the Bills winning that and splitting against the Dolphins.
So, wait, hold on. You haven't beaten the
Just saying,
Jets
look
and
out for
the
the Jets.
Dolphins?
Yep.
So, you got them at...
They have won since
Is that 9-4?
Since the Chiefs game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7-1 since the Chiefs game.
So 9-4.
Yeah, the 9-4 right
9-4.
now. 9-4.
And then on the road, Christmas Eve against the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are a mess. That's a win for Buffalo. So that's 10-4. Going into the next week.
Well, that's good for that.
Wait. They should be 10 and
No,
no.
they're 11-4.
11-4 going into the last 2 games of the season. Monday Night Football on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals. That's a loss for Buffalo.
Yeah, I
Is
can
that what
see
you
that.
said? I think so.
Yeah, I think I said it was a loss for
Yeah.
them. That's a loss, and then they finish up the season. Actually, yeah, that one's the day after New Year's Day, and then they finish up the season at home against the Patriots, which they will win that game.
So, you got Buffalo finishing
12-5.
12-5.
They are 1 game improvement from the previous season. That schedule lightens up after the Chiefs, because I'm looking at these teams. These are all winnable games for them, every single one.
I could see it. I mean, Buffalo's that team, man, where if they can somehow start off like 3-0 to start the year, they might run the gamut as being the best team in the league.
They're not going to start 3-0. That's the thing. Look at that shit. Between Rams, Titans, I'm telling you, the Dolphins are going to be better than people think.
I agree with you, but not by week 3. I think the second Dolphins game, they got a better chance of losing.
No, I'm going because they'll be at home in the elements. It's going to be middle of December. The Dolphins are a warm weather
Miami
team.
gonna surprise
They ain't
people,
go in
though.
there and beat them. They're not going to go into Buffalo and beat them, and it's probably going to be snowing or like
Buffalo's
sub-zero
gonna beat
degree
the
temperature.
Dolphins this year, guaranteed.
12-5. That's going to win them division.
What do you have them going?
I think they could go. I think they could win 14. I think they could go 14.
14. Who are those games that you're
14-30.
flipping on? Because I have them with 5 losses. So you're saying they're going to go 14-3? Who are the two teams you're flipping off of that?
Dolphins.
Okay, so you're saying they'll beat them, they'll sweep the Dolphins. Okay, what's the other one?
I mean, I think they could either sweep the Patriots or they could possibly win that first game against the Rams. I think that's totally
Oh my
possible.
God.
They're coming back. I mean, after losing, they want to come in swinging.
I don't think you're off. I think it's one game though. I would have them going 13-4.
Okay.
I think they're going to beat Kansas City in the regular season.
I
don't know if they'll beat them in the playoffs again. But
I can see that. Out of all the picks I made, I can see that
I think
one.
because Buffalo's going to be out
Because
for revenge.
from
That's
the
a
playoffs.
revenge game.
I
sure.
think I think otherwise on that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo ends up winning that game. Even though in that part of the season it's kind of meaningless because we're so early in this, we're not even halfway through. They're playing each other week 5.
Yeah, but
or
tell
week
Josh
6.
Allen that game's meaningless.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. From a Josh Allen standpoint, it's not meaningless to him because of just what happened last year.
That game's
But for Kansas City and for Pat Mahomes and for Andy Reid, they're like, we're going to be there at the end no matter what.
Andy Reid don't give a fuck.
Right. We've won the Super Bowl. We've been there twice. You haven't done that yet. That's what they're thinking. That's the mentality. We took you guys out. Even though we fell short, we had been there the 2 previous years. So in my eyes, they're not really under a lot of pressure.
All right, Lance, what about you? What do you think Buffalo's record going to be?
What?
He's asking you what do you think Buffalo's going to be at. He's saying they're going to flip 2 wins, and they're going to win 14. He's saying they're going to be 13-4. I'm saying they're going to be 12-5.
Yeah, tough.
12-5? Yeah. Because I think it's
Paying attention.
Who did I have them losing again? Rams, Dolphins,
Rams, Dolphins,
Chiefs,
and
Patriots,
Pats. Yeah.
and the Bengals.
Because I agree with you. I think they'll take 1 L to New England this year.
Yeah.
I think Bill Belichick sat in his office like a mad scientist all year just thinking about how to beat Buffalo.
I think Miami is going to catch them off guard because Buffalo is going to overlook them a little bit because they're going to be sitting here because they're going to beat the Titans week 2. So
I think that's the Patriots though with Miami because Miami's always giving Bill problems.
yeah.
Always. That's always the one team in the East he just loses to for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck,
I get
he
it.
lost to them when they had Ryan Tannehill, for shit's sakes.
So I have them. What do you guys think? I have them at 12-5. They will still win the AFC East. There's really no competition besides, Miami. We don't know. They're still unproven, and the Patriots would be. So I guess the Patriots would probably be their most at the moment their most competition in that division. But let us know what you guys think. The Jets. Hey. The Jets. I like how you said it so casually too. The Jets. Jets.
You must really
Jets.
believe in that Mormon boy, Zach Wilson, huh? You think Joseph Smith's going to save him?
So next. So we finish up with the Buffalo Bills. Now, next week, who should we go? Who do we have to go? So we basically have round out. We already previewed the Cowboys for some odd reason first.
I think next week. I think we got to start doing it by divisions because we only got 6 weeks left.
Well, we can still. We can still do it. We can still go. I'm going down the list.
Cardinals were the last NFC West team.
Did they make the playoffs last year?
They did.
You know who I'm going to preview next week? No. Yeah, we did. They did.
They did. They got bounced by the. Who did they get bounced by? No, I think it's the Bucks.
The Packers got bounced out by the 49ers in that non-scoring game. Remember that?
Yeah, and the Niners beat the Cowboys. Did they?
the Cardinals lost to the Rams. Wasn't it the Rams that beat them?
I think so. Yeah, that's right. They got
The
the
Rams
Cardinals
did beat
in the
them.
first game. Yeah. They had them back-to-back weeks from the playoffs.
Let's look here. Let's see.
Broncos?
No, not yet. Broncos are irrelevant.
Irrelevant, he said.
At the moment, they're irrelevant.
Disrespect. Can you believe this shit?
Oh.
I just want all of Corey's viewers and listeners to know this is the shit that I have to deal with right here.
Well, the Broncos suck. What do you want?
Man, shut up. You're a Cowboys fan.
So,
The Jets.
I found one.
The
The team that we're going to preview next week that I think we should get into was the team that the Rams eliminated into their road to the Super Bowl. And that would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady coming back. The recent news about
Go
Leonard
Talk.
Fournette going from 225 to 260. How's that going to work? They're not happy in the organization. No Gronk this year.
Yeah.
That's a loss. That's a big loss.
That's a big loss. So
So they start playing bad.
their only saving grace is that they're in one of the weakest divisions in football in the NFC South. So
Which is a mess right now.
the NFC, like I've said on previous weeks, the NFC is literally up for grabs this year. Other than the top tier team, which is the Rams. Green Bay, we don't know what the hell is going to happen with them.
Tampa.
It has to be Tampa.
Yeah, but,
I mean, they still have Chris Godwin. They still have Mike Evans. You still have Tom Brady. You still have Leonard Fournette.
Overweight.
You still have Shaquille Barrett on defense. You got, what's the dude's name? Antoine Winfield. He's balling out. I mean, they're not a bad team.
And it's not out of the realm of possibility that Gronk could come back.
And you're never
I don't
allowed-
care how much he says it. You've done this 3 times. I mean,
And betting
you
against
did
Tom
lose
Brady.
O.J. Howard. O.J. Howard goes over to Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo made some changes with getting Jamison Crowder, adding O.J. Howard.
Yeah, they still got Cameron Brate, though.
Right. So, what's next for Tampa? They're clear in a way, far away the favorite in the division between the mess that is the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, the Saints.
Atlanta's just lost Matt Ryan.
And the Saints are living off the hope and prayer that James Winston can stop throwing interceptions.
Right, and hoping that Michael Thomas would come back healthy. So,
Or maybe Taysom Hill surprise everyone.
we'll preview Tampa. Maybe we could go 2 teams, I guess. If we want to do another team next week, I would like to do. If we're gonna do 2 teams, I'm gonna do Tampa and Tennessee.
Okay. I'm down.
If you want to pick up the speed, Tennessee.
Does Derrick Henry have a chance at 2K this year?
Tennessee, interesting seed. They were the number 1 over. Well, they were the number 2 seed in the AFC, 12-5 record. They didn't have Derrick Henry down the stretch. They did add Robert Woods in the offseason after the A.J. Brown move to Philly. They replenished that by adding Robert Woods, who is a good-ass receiver.
Well, and they drafted the kid from Arkansas, too.
Correct. So, and then you'll have a healthy Derrick Henry. Is Ryan Tannehill the guy? This is his year to prove it. If he doesn't, he is sure in hell is gone after the season. Being knocked out in the first round after you have a week bye,
The sad thing
and
is if Ryan Tannehill can't get the job done.
oh, they didn't even have a bye. They lost to Pittsburgh in the first round.
True that. The wilding thing about Tennessee is if Ryan Tannehill can't get his shit figured out this season, they basically got rid of Mariota for nothing.
Or did they lose to?
Because they didn't fall off as a team by any means.
So wait a
They
minute.
change.
Who did Pittsburgh play first? Was it Tennessee?
Kansas City.
Was it Kansas City? No, are you sure?
Yeah, they got bounced.
oh yeah, because they just
Yeah.
barely made it.
Who did
Yeah,
Tennessee
Ben
lose
Roethlisberger-
to?
Tennessee
Was
lost
it to Cincinnati?
It was it was Buffalo because Cincinnati beat the Raiders.
Oh.
Yeah, Cincinnati beat the Raiders in the wild card.
Yeah, and Buffalo beat Tennessee.
Right.
They got their revenge game in the playoffs,
That's right. Yeah.
and Josh Allen kind of fucked on them.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll preview both of those teams. Tennessee getting knocked out first round of the playoffs after a 12-5 promising season, and then Tampa losing in overtime to the Rams, which led to the Super Bowl. So
Does a healthy Derrick Henry rush for 2,000 yards next season?
no.
They gonna give him the ball now.
That's fine. He won't rush for 200 yards. That body can only take so much. You got to have a change of pace running back with the size and the way he runs in Derrick Henry. You got to save his legs for the playoffs.
Well,
That's how they were treating Chris Carson.
Well, yeah, but Chris Carson sucks in comparison.
But when he was healthy, he was our best.
Yeah, but Chris Carson.
I had
at
Chris
his
Carson for the
peak
last
is a
2 seasons.
1,200 rushing yard back.
2 years ago, when I won fantasy football, I had him for 10 games. Right? And maybe that's not a lot to most people, but I will take 10 games, and I can plug and play here another running back here and there.
How did he serve you last season?
Oh, he was trash. I cut him. He only gave me like 2 or 3 good games, and
Ace and point.
and he was hurt. Well, I know. I'm not saying now, but I'm just saying when he was healthy, he was good. He was probably one of the top.
I mean, so was Dante Foreman for the end of the season at Tennessee. He's putting up big numbers for
Oh,
him
he
in
was
fantasy.
terrible, man. He had 1 good game. In the end of next week, we'll preview both of those teams. Fucking Chris Carson.
Chris Carson.
This week I'm gonna go see Nope. The new Jordan Peele movie comes out this Friday.
Very good thing.
I am gonna go check that out. I'll do my movie review next week on that. What's up? What were you saying?
I just said I've heard very good things.
On Nope? Oh yeah, it's
From
giving
the
some really
reviews,
good reviews.
Yeah, very good reviews.
And it's the only good movie that's gonna be coming out next week. So we'll check that out. So next week we'll talk about that. Are the Mariners still gonna be on riding a winning streak by the time we get back here next week? Hopefully that's happening. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share the page. Let me know if you guys want to get on fantasy, any ideas. There's only going to be limited slots if we do this, so we'll need some serious players if they're trying to play some fantasy football and possibly win some cash and
If
prizes.
we get it bigger, we can create more and more leagues down the line, and who knows, maybe do our own fantasy football database.
Absolutely. But until next week, peace and love. We'll talk soon.
Peace.
That's a wrap.
Peace.